Based on the historical data and forecast, Bitcoin shows an overall upward trend, with fluctuations within a defined range. The RSI values have generally remained below 80, indicating the asset is not consistently overbought. However, the recent upward momentum suggests a potential for further gains. The Bollinger Bands indicate that the price is currently approaching the upper band, suggesting a potential for a pullback or consolidation. Considering these factors, I propose a strategy focused on capitalizing on short-term pullbacks while maintaining an overall bullish outlook. Specifically, I recommend entering a long position at $70,300 when the forecast price reaches this level. Set a stop-loss order at $69,800 to limit potential losses if the price reverses. The initial target price should be $71,500, aligning with the upper Bollinger Band and a significant resistance level. If the price reaches $71,500, consider trailing the stop-loss to protect profits and potentially extend the target price to $72,000, depending on market conditions. This strategy combines RSI, Bollinger Bands, and support/resistance levels to manage risk and maximize potential returns. Based on the historical data and forecast, Ethereum exhibits an overall upward trend, supported by consistently breaking through previous resistance levels. The RSI readings fluctuate between 44 and 66, indicating periods of both neutral and overbought conditions. The Bollinger Bands show a widening range recently, suggesting increased volatility. Considering the forecast prices, which start at $21.20 and gradually decrease, I recommend a cautious but bullish strategy. We will implement a strategy based on the RSI indicator, aiming to capitalize on potential pullbacks while maintaining an upward bias. The strategy involves entering a long position at $2,120, coinciding with the start of the forecast period. A stop-loss order will be placed at $2,090, just below the established support level, to limit potential losses. The initial target price will be $2,340, the previous resistance level, offering a substantial profit potential. If the price reaches $2,340, we will consider moving the stop-loss to the entry price of $2,120 to secure profits and reduce risk. This strategy combines trend analysis, RSI signals, and Bollinger Band volatility to maximize returns while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, XRP shows a generally upward trend, with price fluctuations around the support level of $1.44. The RSI values have been fluctuating between 40.9 and 63.0, indicating periods of both oversold and overbought conditions. The Bollinger Bands have been narrowing and widening, suggesting periods of volatility and consolidation. Considering these factors, I propose a combined strategy incorporating RSI, Bollinger Bands, and support/resistance levels. We will initiate a long position when the RSI falls below 30, close to the oversold level, and the price is near the support level of $1.44. Specifically, we will enter a long position at $1.43 when the RSI dips below 30. The initial stop-loss will be set at $1.42, just below the support level, to limit potential losses. The first target price will be $1.46, aligning with the upper Bollinger Band and a slight breach of the previous resistance. If the price reaches $1.46, we will move the stop-loss to $1.45 to protect profits. The second target price will be $1.50, representing a significant move above the recent resistance and a potential continuation of the upward trend. This strategy aims to capitalize on short-term price fluctuations while benefiting from the overall upward momentum of XRP. Based on the historical data and forecast, BNB shows a mixed trend with periods of consolidation and upward movement. The support price consistently remains at $637, while the resistance fluctuates around $657 to $678. The RSI indicates that the asset is generally within the neutral range, occasionally approaching oversold conditions but rarely entering extreme oversold territory below 20. The Bollinger Bands have been contracting recently, suggesting a period of lower volatility. Considering these factors, I propose a moderately bullish strategy with a focus on capitalizing on potential upward movements while mitigating risk. My strategy involves a phased approach. First, initiate a long position at $636 plus dollar when the forecast price reaches this level, placing a stop-loss order at $634 plus dollar to protect against downside risk. The initial target price is set at $645 plus dollar, aiming for a modest profit. If the price reaches $645 plus dollar, consider taking partial profits and raising the stop-loss to break even. Subsequently, if the price continues to climb and breaks through the resistance level of $657 plus dollar, move the stop-loss to $652 plus dollar and adjust the target price to $675 plus dollar. This approach allows for capturing gains from both short-term and potentially longer-term upward trends, while effectively managing risk through strategic stop-loss placements and target price adjustments. Based on the historical data and forecast, Solana shows a clear upward trend, consistently testing and breaking through resistance levels. The RSI values have generally been oscillating between 40 and 60, indicating neither extreme oversold nor overbought conditions recently. However, the forecast for the next week suggests a potential slight pullback before resuming the upward trajectory. Considering these factors, I recommend a long position strategy with an entry price of $88.8. To mitigate risk, set a stop-loss order at $87.8, just below the recent forecast low. The target price should be set at $95.4, aligning with the recent upper Bollinger Band and a significant resistance level. To refine this strategy, we'll incorporate the Bollinger Bands. The price has been consistently trading within the bands, suggesting moderate volatility. A long position is justified given the overall uptrend. Entry at $88.8, with a stop-loss at $87.8 and a target price of $95.4 provides a favorable risk-reward ratio. The RSI is not in the oversold territory, so we are not relying on a bounce from an oversold condition, but rather on the prevailing uptrend and the potential for the price to reach the upper Bollinger Band. This combined strategy offers a balanced approach, capitalizing on the upward momentum while managing downside risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, TRON shows an upward trend. The RSI consistently stays above 50, indicating bullish momentum, and the forecast prices predict a continued increase. The Bollinger Bands have been widening, suggesting increasing volatility and potential for price movement. Given the current price of $0.303 and the forecast predicting a rise, I recommend a long position. The entry price will be $0.309. To manage risk, set a stop-loss slightly below the support price at $0.305. The initial target price will be $0.317, aligning with the forecast high. To maximize potential gains, we can implement a trailing stop-loss strategy. Once the price reaches $0.317, move the stop-loss to $0.31. If the price continues to rise, adjust the stop-loss further to protect profits. A secondary target price will be $0.321, based on the final forecast price. This strategy combines trend analysis, RSI signals, and Bollinger Bands volatility to generate high returns while managing risk effectively. The portfolio will be 60% long TRON, 30% cash, and 10% in stable coins for flexibility. Based on the historical data and forecast, Dogecoin shows a slight upward trend with periods of consolidation. The RSI consistently remains above the oversold level of 20, suggesting that the asset is not significantly undervalued. However, the recent RSI values are hovering around 45 to 58, indicating a neutral to slightly overbought condition. Considering the Bollinger Bands, the price has been fluctuating within the bands, with occasional touches of the upper band. The forecast data suggests a continued sideways movement with slight downward pressure. Therefore, a cautious strategy focusing on short-term gains is recommended. My strategy involves a combination of RSI and Bollinger Band signals. I will enter a long position at $0.094. The stop-loss will be set at $0.0935, just below the support level, to limit potential losses. The initial target price will be $0.103, aligning with the upper Bollinger Band and previous resistance. If the price reaches $0.103, I will move the stop-loss to the entry price of $0.094 to secure profits and allow for further upside potential. This approach balances risk and reward, capitalizing on the current upward momentum while protecting against downside risks. Based on the historical data and forecast, Cardano shows a slight upward trend with price fluctuations. The RSI indicates that the asset is currently not in oversold or overbought territory, hovering around 46. The Bollinger Bands suggest potential volatility, with the price frequently touching or crossing the upper and lower bands. Considering the support price of 0.255 and resistance of 0.289, I propose a strategy combining RSI and Bollinger Bands. We will initiate a long position when the RSI dips below 40 and the price touches the lower Bollinger Band, aiming to capitalize on potential rebounds. Specifically, we will enter a long position at $0.253, coinciding with the forecast price and the lower Bollinger Band. The stop loss will be set just below the support price at $0.251 to mitigate potential losses if the price continues to decline. Our target price will be $0.275, slightly below the resistance level, offering a reasonable profit margin. This strategy aims to benefit from short-term price corrections and upward momentum, balancing risk with potential reward. The portfolio will prioritize this strategy due to its combination of technical indicators and support/resistance levels. Based on the historical data and forecast, Bitcoin Cash shows a generally upward trend, supported by the consistently high resistance level of $570 and the recent forecast prices pushing towards $482. The RSI consistently remained below the oversold level of 20, but approached the overbought level of 80, suggesting potential for short-term pullbacks. The Bollinger Bands show that the price is currently trending towards the upper band, indicating bullish momentum. Therefore, I propose a long position strategy with an entry price of $464, a stop loss at $435, and an initial target price of $482, aligning with the forecast. To refine this strategy, I will incorporate RSI signals. If the RSI falls below 35, consider entering a long position at $456, with a stop loss at $435 and a target price of $474. Conversely, if the RSI exceeds 49, consider a short position at $477, with a stop loss at $493 and a target price of $458. Combining these signals with the Bollinger Bands, which indicate a potential shift towards the middle band, allows for dynamic adjustments and maximizes potential returns. This portfolio combines the strengths of all three strategies for efficient investment. Based on the historical data and forecast, Chainlink shows a generally upward trend with recent consolidation. The RSI fluctuating between 42.9 and 62.4 indicates periods of both oversold and overbought conditions. The Bollinger Bands suggest periods of volatility and potential trend reversals. Considering these factors, I propose a combined strategy leveraging RSI and Bollinger Bands for optimal returns. We will initiate a long position when the RSI dips below 30, anticipating a bounce back. The entry price will be $8.72, coinciding with the first day of the forecast period and a dip in price near the lower Bollinger Band. A stop loss will be placed at $8.54, just below the established support level, to mitigate potential losses. The initial target price will be $9.17, aligning with the recent resistance level. To refine the strategy further, we'll incorporate Bollinger Band breakouts. If the price breaks above the upper Bollinger Band, indicating strong upward momentum, we will raise the target price to $9.54. Conversely, if the price falls below the lower Bollinger Band and the RSI confirms an oversold condition, we will tighten the stop loss to $8.38. This dynamic adjustment allows us to capitalize on continued upward movement while protecting against unexpected downturns. The overall portfolio will be 60% long position and 40% reserved for dynamic adjustments, maximizing potential gains while minimizing risk. Based on the historical data and forecast, Dogwifhat shows a downtrend. The RSI consistently remains below 50, indicating prevailing selling pressure. The forecast predicts a continuous decline, with prices dropping to 0.154. The support price of 0.163 provides a floor, while the resistance at 0.19 acts as a ceiling. Considering these factors, I recommend a short selling strategy. Entry price should be $0.164, with a stop loss set at $0.17, just above the recent high. A target price of $0.154, aligning with the forecast, will provide a reasonable profit margin. To refine the strategy, we'll incorporate the Bollinger Bands. The price consistently trades near the lower band, reinforcing the downtrend. We will use RSI as the primary indicator, with a conservative approach. If the RSI approaches 20, indicating an oversold condition, we will consider covering the short position. However, given the overall bearish outlook, we prioritize the downward trend. This portfolio combines the strengths of all three strategies, maximizing potential returns while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, Artificial Superintelligence Alliance demonstrates a strong upward trend. The price has consistently moved above the support level of $0.167 and approached the resistance level of $0.242. The RSI values have been fluctuating between 35.7 and 80.0, indicating periods of both oversold and overbought conditions. The Bollinger Bands show that the price has been moving within the bands, with recent days showing the price approaching the upper band. The forecast for the next week suggests a continued upward trajectory, with prices ranging from $0.21 to $0.221. Given this analysis, I recommend a long position strategy, aiming to capitalize on the prevailing bullish momentum. My strategy will involve a tiered entry approach. Initially, enter a long position at $0.21, placing a stop-loss order at $0.205 to limit potential losses. The first target price will be $0.225, aiming to capture a quick profit. If the price reaches the first target, consider moving the stop-loss to the entry price of $0.21 to secure profits and potentially ride the trend further. The second target price will be $0.23, and if the price reaches this level, consider taking partial profits and moving the stop-loss higher to protect gains. This strategy combines RSI and Bollinger Band signals with support and resistance levels to maximize returns while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, SKY exhibits a slight upward trend with periods of consolidation. The RSI fluctuates between 48.3 and 69.0, indicating both oversold and overbought conditions. The Bollinger Bands show that the price has been oscillating within a range, recently approaching the upper band. Considering the forecast prices are stable around 0.0735 to 0.0766, and the support price is 0.0713, a strategy focusing on short-term gains within this range is recommended. We will implement a combined strategy using RSI and Bollinger Bands. The strategy involves entering long positions when the RSI falls below 30 and the price touches the lower Bollinger Band. The entry price will be $0.0713, coinciding with the support level and the lower Bollinger Band. The stop loss will be set just below the support at $0.0700 to protect against potential downside. The initial target price will be $0.0750, aligning with the recent resistance levels. If the price reaches $0.0750, we will move the stop loss to break even at $0.0713. Further, if the price continues to rise, the second target price will be $0.0766, based on the forecast price. This combined approach leverages both momentum and volatility indicators to maximize potential returns while minimizing risk. Based on the historical data and forecast, Bitcoin Cash shows a generally upward trend, supported by the consistently high resistance level of $570 and the recent forecast prices pushing towards $482. The RSI consistently remained below the oversold level of 20, but approached the overbought level of 80, suggesting potential for short-term pullbacks. The Bollinger Bands show that the price is currently trending towards the upper band, indicating bullish momentum. Therefore, I propose a long position strategy with an entry price of $464, a stop loss at $435, and an initial target price of $482, aligning with the forecast. To refine this strategy, I will incorporate RSI signals. If the RSI falls below 35, consider entering a long position at $456, with a stop loss at $435 and a target price of $474. Conversely, if the RSI exceeds 49, consider a short position at $477, with a stop loss at $493 and a target price of $458. Combining these signals with the Bollinger Bands, which indicate a potential shift towards the middle band, allows for dynamic adjustments and maximizes potential returns. This portfolio combines the strengths of all three strategies for efficient investment. Based on the historical data and forecast, just shows an upward trend. The RSI consistently remains above 65, indicating bullish momentum, and the forecast prices predict further increases. The support price of $0.055 provides a floor, while the Bollinger Bands are widening, suggesting increasing volatility and potential for price movement. Therefore, I propose a long position strategy. We will enter a long position at $0.0586, coinciding with the first forecast price. To mitigate risk, we will set a stop loss at $0.055, just above the support level. The initial target price will be $0.0637, aligning with the final forecast price. To refine this strategy, we will incorporate RSI and Bollinger Band signals. If the RSI dips below 40, indicating an oversold condition, we will consider adding to our position at the current market price. Conversely, if the price touches the upper Bollinger Band, we will consider taking partial profits. We will adjust the target price to $0.065 if the price consistently breaks above the upper Bollinger Band. This combined approach leverages both trend analysis and technical indicators to maximize potential returns while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, Aptos shows a mixed trend with periods of consolidation and upward movement. The price has been fluctuating between a support of $0.912 and a resistance of $1.02. The RSI values range from 40.7 to 54.7, indicating occasional oversold and overbought conditions. The Bollinger Bands have been relatively wide, suggesting volatility. Considering the forecast for the next week, the price is expected to hover around $0.947 to $0.952, with a slight upward bias. Therefore, I recommend a combined strategy incorporating RSI and Bollinger Bands for optimal returns. My strategy involves a combination of RSI and Bollinger Bands to maximize potential gains. First, we will initiate a long position when the RSI dips below 20, indicating an oversold condition, and the price touches the lower band of the Bollinger Bands. However, since the RSI never reached below 20, we will wait for the RSI to reach 40 and the price to touch the lower band of Bollinger Bands. The entry price will be $0.896. The stop loss will be set just below the support level at $0.886 to protect against potential downside risks. The target price will be set at the resistance level of $1.02, aiming to capture a significant upward movement. If the price reaches the resistance, we will take profit and exit the position. This combined strategy aims to capitalize on both momentum and volatility, maximizing potential returns while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, Convex Finance shows a downtrend. The RSI indicates oversold conditions on several days, particularly around March 13th and 14th with readings of 38.9 and 43.8 respectively. The Bollinger Bands also suggest volatility, with the price frequently touching or crossing the bands. Considering these factors, a short selling strategy is recommended. We will initiate a short position at $1.85, anticipating a continuation of the downward trend. A stop-loss order will be placed at $1.88 to limit potential losses if the price unexpectedly rises. The initial target price is set at $1.76, aligning with the forecast for March 27th. To optimize returns, we'll employ a dynamic trading approach. If the price reaches the initial target of $1.76, we will move the stop-loss to the entry price of $1.85, securing a risk-free profit. Subsequently, we will set a new target price at $1.78. This strategy combines the RSI and Bollinger Band signals with the overall downtrend, aiming for high returns while managing risk through strategically placed stop-loss orders and dynamic target price adjustments. The support price of $1.77 also provides a potential secondary target. Based on the historical data and forecast, Kite shows a downtrend with recent volatility. The RSI consistently hovers around the 40 to 60 range, indicating neither strong overbought nor oversold conditions. The Bollinger Bands have been widening, suggesting increased price fluctuations. Considering the support price of 0.194 and the forecast prices, a conservative strategy focusing on short-term bounces is advisable. We will implement a strategy combining RSI and Bollinger Bands. We will enter a long position when the RSI dips below 45 and the price touches the lower Bollinger Band, aiming to capitalize on potential rebounds. The entry price will be $0.22, coinciding with the forecast price on March 26, 2026, and the lower Bollinger Band. The stop loss will be set at $0.218, just below the lower Bollinger Band, to limit potential losses if the downtrend continues. The target price will be $0.231, aligning with the forecast price on March 25, 2026, and a reasonable profit target given the current market conditions. This strategy aims to capture short-term gains from potential bounces while mitigating risk with a tight stop-loss. The portfolio will prioritize this strategy due to its conservative approach and focus on short-term opportunities in a volatile market. Based on the historical data and forecast, Quant exhibits a strong upward trend. The price has consistently moved above the Bollinger Band center line, indicating bullish momentum. The RSI readings have generally been increasing, suggesting strengthening buying pressure. The forecast for the next week projects further price increases, reaching $88.1. Considering these factors, I propose a long position strategy focused on capitalizing on the ongoing uptrend. The entry price for this trade will be $76.4. Given the recent price action and the forecast, I anticipate a continued rise. The stop loss will be set at $77.1, just above the support level, to protect against unexpected downside moves. The initial target price will be $81.3, aligning with the forecast for March 23, 2026. If the price surpasses this target, a trailing stop loss will be implemented to secure profits and capture further gains, aiming for a final target of $88.1 by March 27, 2026. This strategy combines technical indicators and forecast data to maximize potential returns while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, Ether.fi shows a mixed trend with periods of both upward and downward movement. The support price consistently remains at $0.536, while the resistance fluctuates around $0.585. The RSI indicates that the asset is mostly within the neutral range, occasionally approaching oversold and overbought levels. The Bollinger Bands suggest periods of volatility and potential price consolidation. Considering these factors, I propose a combined strategy leveraging RSI and Bollinger Bands. My strategy involves a tiered approach to maximize returns while managing risk. First, initiate a long position at $0.551 when the RSI dips below 40, indicating an oversold condition. Set a stop-loss order at $0.536, just below the support level, to protect against potential losses. The initial target price is $0.585, aligning with the recent resistance. If the price reaches this target, consider a trailing stop-loss at $0.572 to capture further gains if the upward trend continues. If the RSI reaches 80, indicating an overbought condition, consider taking profits at $0.555 and waiting for the price to retrace. This combined approach aims to capitalize on both short-term fluctuations and potential long-term trends, providing a balanced and potentially high-return investment strategy.